More than 1,100 former officials with the Department of Justice are calling on Attorney General William Barr to step down. In a letter released yesterday, former employees cite the recent intervention from the DOJ in the Roger Stone case, where the sentencing recommendation for President Trump's long-term ally was lowered last week. CBS News White House correspondent Paula Reid joins us now. And Paula, you seem to be the perfect person to talk to because not only are you at the White House, but you also have a background in law. So who better to talk to? Is Attorney General Barr's job in jeopardy?
There's no indication that he's going to be out of a job anytime soon, but it's clear there is a crisis of confidence within the Justice Department. As you just noted, over 1,100 former justice officials who served in both the Republican and Democratic administrations wrote this note arguing that Barr's interference in the Stone case, some of his other actions, that he poses a threat to the fair administration of justice. And in speaking with my sources, it's clear that Barr's relationship with the rank and file is really strained at the Justice Department. And it's not just about the Stone case. It's also about Barr's continued trend of tapping his U.S. attorneys to review or reinvestigate these issues that are of specific importance to the president. Those include the origins of the Russia probe, even though that's been reviewed at least once or twice now. He's also having a U.S. attorney look into all that evidence that Rudy Giuliani brought back in his suitcase from Ukraine. And most recently, he is reviewing the case of former National Security Advisor Mike Flynn. And there are a lot of folks who are just asking whether the Attorney General is using his stature to help bolster the president and some of the accusations the president has made against his political opponents.
So speaking of the president, what is Barr's current relationship like with President Trump and the Justice Department?
Well, CBS News has learned the president is quite pleased with Barr's overall performance as Attorney General. This recent news that Barr is going to review the Mike Flynn case, the president was especially pleased to hear that. And even though you saw the Attorney General last week come out on national television and express some frustration with the president's tweets, it doesn't really appear to have had any impact on their overall working relationship. William Barr appears to be exactly what the president has wanted, what he felt he didn't have in his first Attorney General, Jeff Sessions. He believes he is someone who is protecting his interests and running that department the way the president wants him to.
Now, does the White House or Department of Justice have any messaging plans to reinforce public trust in the independency of the DOJ? Because as you mentioned, Barr did take to national television recently and claimed that the president's tweets were kind of undermining that credibility.
Yeah, and I think that's where you saw really the public messaging, because we've learned, CBS News has learned, that prior to that interview, Barr had expressed his frustration to the president and sort of laid out the reasons why the tweets are not helpful in building the credibility of the Justice Department. Clearly, the president didn't listen, but you don't have to go on national television to reiterate a message to the president of the United States when you have a direct line. That interview is part of an effort to talk to the public, not only to the rank and file, but also to the general public, who really, this has become such a controversy. It's really been bubbling at the Justice Department for quite some time. But with what happened in the Roger Stone case, it really sort of bubbled over into the national spotlight. So there you see Barr was trying to message to the country that he's an independent actor. But even though he said that, his record at the Justice Department, all the things he's done since the Mueller investigation came out, and he characterized that in a way that even Robert Mueller said wasn't accurate all the way through all these U.S. attorney reviews. It's not clear when he says he's independent if that is actually true.
Those are some really good points. Now, I want to look ahead to this week. Roger Stone is set to be sentenced on Thursday. Is that still expected to happen despite the new controversy surrounding his case?
Well, that's a great point, because folks have to remember that his sentence, even though Barr intervened and recommended actually no specific sentence, but he took away that 9 to 7 year recommendation, it ultimately is up to a judge to decide how much time Stone receives. He is still scheduled to be sentenced on Thursday, but he has asked once again for a new trial. He made a recommendation or a request for a new trial about a week or so ago. That was denied. He has made that request once again, and tomorrow the judge will have a conference on that. Now, most of that request is under seal, so we don't know entirely the basis for that, but we'll hear likely something from the judge, who has also been a target of President Trump, tomorrow during this conference, and then it will be more clear if the scheduling is still on for Thursday.
Yeah, well, it's shaping up to be yet another busy week. Paula, thank you very much.